Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a longer term market update for Ergo, which has started to come back down, losing the support right around $1.62. In the last video, I did discuss the idea that we had started to reclaim this and flip it back into support on this weekly chart, with the $1.62 level being a major zone of support and resistance dating all the way back here to March of 2021. That served as a massive zone of support where Ergo bounced off of into new all-time highs, and that was also the reversal point we saw in the summer of 2022. Basically, from this point, it bounced from $1.62 up to this local high at $5.40. So a 220% rally off of this region of support. So in general, over the last few years, we have seen this being a very critical point. And when we had the weekly move coming back above this and reclaiming it, I did discuss the idea of this flipping into support being a bullish sign, with the concept being we hadn't flipped it into resistance, we broke back above it, reclaimed the range, and that would be sort of a fake out below the range, very similar to what we saw to the upside where we had the fake out above the range and started to come back within it. So in this case, we actually haven't seen any follow through. We've broken back below this level with one weekly candle closing under this, with the most recent close on last Sunday night, and then this entire weekly candle body below that level. So it is very clear here on this weekly chart that we have lost that as support. We're no longer in the argument that we could have a deviation and a range reclaim. So that is now invalidated. And what we can look to instead for that longer term bullish situation, or that longer term bullish scenario, is if we can hold support somewhere in this region. Now that could be potentially retesting the breakout point, which would be this level right around $1.38. And you can see that was basically where all of these weekly candles held as resistance from November up until December. And what we had was just very small candle bodies consolidating at this region, major zone of consolidation, and then the breakout really just spiked right back above that level. So that's the first region that we could look to as support if this does start to reverse. The next level would be obviously the lows from back in December, right around $1.16. And if we were to retest this and bounce off of that as support, that would set up nicely for a double bottoming pattern. So either way, we could have these two bullish scenarios where if we can start to form some sort of higher low or a double bottom, retesting the support and starting to bounce off of it, this is really when the longer term direction does start to look much more healthy and constructive. But until we see either of those develop, my primary assumption is that this move right here in January is yet again a lower high, just because we haven't been able to hold support. We haven't really been able to have any more follow through to the upside. And at this point, we really have to pay attention to some support in this general green zone before we can start to get very bullish on the longer term direction. The only major bullish sign that we had on this weekly chart was the reclaim of the range lows. But again, that has been invalidated with this move coming back below it, not able to hold it as support. So just pay attention to that into the next few months. And of course, if we start to lose the support and lose the lows, which I'm not expecting with Ergo, mainly because I think Bitcoin and Ethereum have bottomed themselves. But if that scenario were to play out where we're no longer holding the support and we're starting to actually break down to form lower lows, then we just have to zoom back here to 2021 and look for some support from back here in the consolidation phase. And that next support would come at around 84 cents, which was the highs from back here in October of 2020. So if we were to start to break down, lose the lows, which again is not my primary expectation, but if we just do have Bitcoin, say, very weak into the next few weeks and it's actually coming back down, retesting below 20K, then this could potentially happen, and that would be the next support to watch out for. Again, if we lose to the lows from back here in December at $1.14. Not my most likely expectation, and I won't be focusing too much on this, but that's the risk that we do have on this weekly chart with, say, a continuation of this downtrend and some weakness across the board in the crypto market. But more specifically, I will be watching for support to be held in some sort of higher low or double bottom, which would come in this general green zone. And then from there, we really need to start to see the range reclaimed and flipped back into support more sustainably. So as an example, looking something like this would be the very bullish scenario and exactly what I want to see unfold into say the next few months, where we do start to have more of that momentum working with us to the upside, potentially breaking back above the 20-week moving average, which is the blue line on this chart. That's around $1.77. You can see that's actually where we rejected at over the last few weeks. So just having that general momentum and trend working with us to the upside is what I want to see. And I don't see those signs playing out yet, but I do think that could be coming into the next several months because, again, I do think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the general crypto market has seen a longer term bottom. So I hope you guys enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out my Twitter page. I will leave a link to that in the description below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.